Hi everyone, welcome to AC Always Connected, How to Boost Your Health Naturally with Essential Oils. I'm Michelle Hevey and I'm the Events Officer for the AC Hub. Today we are joined by Kelsey and Danielle, who will be presenting on the health benefits of essential oils. So before we get started, we just want to go over a couple of housekeeping items. We ask that you kindly please keep yourself on mute throughout the presentation, but we would like to encourage you to turn on your cameras for some face-to-face time. Along the bottom of your screen, you'll find a button called Chat. When you select this option, a pop-up window will appear on the right-hand side of the screen. Following Kelsey and Danielle's presentation, we welcome you to ask your questions in the chat, or you can use the participants button and click raise hand, and then you can ask your question live. So to kick off the event, we'd like to ask everyone to please open up the chat tab along the bottom of your screen, and I'm going to ask everyone a question, and we'll just ask you to please wait to submit your answer until everyone's had a chance to type their answer. So the question is, why would you or why do you currently use essential oils? You can type out your answer now. And then I'm going to count down from 3, and then everyone will press send, and we can send at the same time. So I'll just count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. For headaches, for sure, cleaning. Great, thank you. So I think our presenters will touch on some of that, which is fantastic. So please continue to use this chat throughout the presentation. If you have questions or if you think of anything, feel free to type it in there. So now I am very pleased to introduce Kelsey and Danielle. So Kelsey is a child, youth, and family therapist who is currently pursuing her master's in counseling psychology. Kelsey is passionate about essential oils and natural therapy products. Danielle has a passion for healthy living and has been incorporating a natural, non-toxic lifestyle into her everyday routine for the last 6 years. Danielle is excited to share the power that essential oils have on our bodies. So Kelsey and Danielle, over to you.
Perfect, thank you. So before we get started, I just wanted to note that we are not doctors. We're not saying that essential oils can prevent or cure anything. We're just here to talk about how they can support our body systems. And we're going to also talk about how they've helped us in our lives and how they've helped us through emotions and skin support, hormone support, all of that. And if anyone else wants to add anything to that, please do. But yeah, so Dee will start us off.
Yeah, so perfect. Hi, thank you for coming. It's amazing. Essential oils are a powerhouse. I'm going to start off by talking about the distillation process. It's a really, really simple process. You take your plants and then you boil them, and then they get condensed. And then from that, the condensed, you split the water from the oils, and that's where you get your oils. It's basic, super simple stuff. Now, if you have to think about the amount of plant matter that goes into just one bottle of oil, there's rose essential oil. It takes 22 pounds of rose petals in order to make 1 5 ml bottle of essential oil. People always say essential oils are expensive. Well, yeah, if you think about the amount that it takes to raise the plants, cultivate them, distill them, and turn them into the plant matter itself, it's amazing. And it's an amazing process. And at that concentration, the plants are powerful. They're so powerful. And now Kelsey's going to talk about the 3 ways that you can use essential oils on your body.
Yes, so there's 3 different ways to use them. So first is through inhalation. So that can be by diffusing it. So I'm diffusing my Seedlings Calm essential oil right now. And that way it gets through your nose and into your lungs, and it travels throughout your whole body. The next way is topically. So this way is my favorite way to use essential oils because I like to have that scent with me throughout the whole day. And when you put it on your body, it takes 20 minutes for that essential oil to reach every single cell in your body, which I think is pretty incredible. And I have noticed that, especially when I get headaches, I'll put on some peppermint on the back of my neck, and within 20 minutes, like, it is gold. It is amazing. And I've actually timed it before, so it's pretty cool to see that process happen. And also, our skin is the largest organ in our body. And so we have to make sure that, like, we know what we're actually putting onto it. And for me, knowing that I'm putting like a natural product that gives me a nice scent and it also helps with my different body systems makes me confident in knowing what's going in my body. And then lastly, orally is a way that we can use them as well. In terms of taking them through ingestion, I would read the labels on your essential oils to make sure that you can. Not every essential oil can be taken that way. And I would follow the directions. So like what I do with peppermint is I put 1 drop in like a massive water bottle. I don't, you don't have to put like 10 drops into it. Less is more when it comes to that. But taking it orally is the most potent way to do it because it goes right into your system right away, and travels through your whole body. So next I'm going to talk about essential oils safety. So not all, actually, I have a poll question.
There you go.
It's the one about if essential oils are all made the same. Awesome. You all got it right.
Good.
Yeah, so not all essential oils are made the same. Some companies can actually take the leftovers from other companies that are like super diluted and just use them in their bottles. It's really important to do your research on the company that you go with and to see, like, are you allowed to visit their farms? Because that is a huge part of how the oil is made. Like, do they use pesticides? Do they use any kind of chemicals on their plants? Is someone watching this process, and who is regulating that? So in Canada, if the essential oil bottle says that it's a natural health product, that means that it has gone through a lot more testing than ones that don't say that. So when you're a natural health product, that means that that company can say the benefits that that essential oil has on your body. So for instance, peppermint is good for muscle pain and joints, headaches. So it is, if that company is a natural health product and has it pass through that, they are allowed to put that on the bottle. If a company is just using the oils for cosmetic reasons, which often means for the fragrance of it, then they don't have to go through that regulation body. They just can't say that it's for healthy benefits. So it's really important to read the bottles and see what kind of testing they've actually had to go through, and even contact the companies and see what they have to do. Because it's also important to know if it's okay to put on your body. Some essential oils, I actually just found some that I had from Winners a while ago, and they say that there is skin irritant, and it's a lavender, which lavender is amazing for skin, and you should be using it for your skin for its benefits. So that's a huge concern. So just doing your research to make sure that the oil is actually safe to put on your body, especially because there can be synthetics added into it, there can be chemicals, or it can just be diluted with like a vegetable oil. But if there's synthetics or fake fragrances in it, that can be actually detrimental to your health, and it won't be doing the effects that you want it to do. So definitely do your research on where you're buying them from. And as Dee said, like the price of them, if you're getting like a $5 bottle of lavender, you might want to look into why is that $5. It could be like super diluted just with like jojoba oil, and that's totally okay, but you're not getting the 100% pure oil that you would like to be getting. Next, dilute your oils. So I am big into, as I said, using my oils topically on my skin. Like every day I have them. I have so many different rollers that I use. I have a skin roller, I have a hormone roller, I have an emotional support roller. I probably have like 10 of those in my house. I have a sleep roller, and they're all diluted. So I don't just put the oil right on my skin. I dilute it with like coconut oil or jojoba oil. And that's just to make sure that, especially if you're using pure oil, it's pretty potent. So just to make sure that you're safe and that you're not getting like any kind of reactions to it. And it also helps to seep into your skin too. Next, as I said, people can have reactions to essential oils. So there's a thing called a patch test, which you can do. So if you're like super new to oils and you're not sure if you'll have a reaction, you can take 1 drop of the essential oil and 1 teaspoon of like coconut oil or jojoba oil, whatever other oil you want to use with it. And you put it on the patch of a Band-Aid, and then you put the Band-Aid on your forearm and just let it sit there for 24 hours. And you can see if there's any kind of like redness or rashes that come up. If there's not, you're good to go. If there is, then that just means that you have some kind of reaction to it. But with that being said, again, make sure that the oil is pure, because if the oil has synthetics in it, that could be a reason why you're getting a rash. So to check into that is really important. And lastly, some oils you can't wear outside into the sun, especially like the citrus oils. You get some kind of reaction. You can get like a sunburn from them. Dee knows what's up because that happened to her.
I have done that.
So you want to wear them like what I do. I have a blend that I really like, and it has a lot of citrus oils in it, and I just put it on my chest, and that way I can still smell it. Or what I do is I put oils in my hair as a diffuser, and that seems to work for me. But yeah, you just want to be careful what oils you're putting on your forearms or whatever is showing out in the sun. And that's it for oil safety. It's
Perfect.
on to you.
Yeah, so now I'm going to talk about pregnancy hormones, and I'm going to touch a little bit on dilutions as well, just when it comes to our little ones. So for pregnancy, a lot of people, I get the question all the time, can you use essential oils while you're pregnant? The answer is yes, absolutely. Again, dilute, especially when it comes to hot oils. Now, hot oils, there's a chart of them. That could be peppermint, cinnamon. Cinnamon's a real hot one. That one's spicy. Don't ever put these oils on your skin directly. But yes, you can use them during pregnancy, and they're actually really, really beneficial for you. So peppermint can ease your morning sickness completely. We also have, there's a line of oils that's really good for upset tummies. There's one called Digize. I don't have it up here with me, but I swear by it. I was never one to believe that anything could get rid of my upset stomach, like if I had just eaten something or I was feeling bloated and yucky. And this oil, I have never in my life seen something or felt something work like this. It's remarkable, and it just goes to show you how well plants do work. And then into hormonal support. What was the recommendations for upset stomach? So it's called Digize. Kelsey, do you want to grab the bottle? It's got like fennel in it. There's peppermint. Perfect. Yeah. So and I'll get a list of everything that's in that exact oil. As for hormonal support, believe it or not, that it's 100% a thing. It's called Progessence Plus. You roll it on your forearms every day, above your navel and your inner thighs twice a day, and it's actually known to help balance out your hormones. It can get rid of hot flashes, mood swings, depression, like PMS, cramp symptoms. It can ease out, it can level you out. And I've been using it for the better part of 6 months now, and I used to have extremely bad adult acne. I've always dealt with it. I thought if I was, on my way to 30 that it would be gone by now, but it did not disappear. And this stuff, I've seen some hero stories of this oil. And again, it just goes to show you how well plants work. And then as for the dilution for children. So yes, you can still use it for infants, babies. They suggest 1/8 of a dilution when it comes to birth to 2 years old. So again, you could cut it with coconut oil, any type of carrier oil, and then put it just in a roller and just roll it on them. As for diffusing, it's totally fine around all ages. You can diffuse anything for all ages. I just recommend that, it's an open space. You don't want to like lock anybody in a small room with your diffuser if you're not used to the strong, powerful smells that essential oils are. And then it keeps going. So 2 to 6 years old, it's a mix of a quarter strength, and then 7 to 11, half strength, and then 12 plus. So if you're over 12, you can use full strength. And again, like Kelsey was mentioning, to read the labels, because there are so many different companies that I've used, and like, how can lavender smell different between, all of these companies? So definitely do your research and look into what oils you're purchasing. And then I'm going to touch too on animals. I get that question a lot. Can I use like essential oils around my animals? I heard that they're dangerous. I heard that they're toxic. And I always mention that if we just think about people are using Febreze, you're using Airwick, you're spraying Febreze all over your dog's bed, you're cleaning your floors with bleach and Pine Sol, and your children are walking on it, your bare feet, your dogs are laying on it, they're licking it. Those chemicals are so much worse than natural plant matter at its dilution rate. Obviously, yes, if your dog were to get a hold of a bottle and they drink all of the oils, it's going to be dangerous to anybody because it's at such concentrated levels. But no, you can diffuse around your pets. There's actually an entire line specifically for pets. I use it to keep my dogs smelling tasty, not tasty, but good, as well as for calming them down, because my one dog has anxiety really bad, and lavender is really, really good for calming her down. And then I think that was it. Yeah, for pets. And then we're going to go on to emotional support.
Yes. Yeah, I know with my dog as well. Whenever I diffuse something different or I put something on my body that is new to him, I just kind of see how he reacts to it. I was telling Dee the other day, like cedarwood for him is just not going well for him. Like I put cedarwood in my hair at nighttime, and when I first got him, he was like running around the bed, scratching, sniffing. He was not a fan. So just like read what's going on with them, and then try to not use those around them. Like cedarwood, I just don't use anymore.
But
for the most part, he's fine. Like I'm diffusing right beside him, and he's okay.
Just like people, right? Like there's smells that we like and there's smells we don't like. And same with pets. And obviously pets, they have a way stronger, their sense of smell is much stronger than us. So I always just recommend having a door open so they could just leave if they don't want to be in the room. Or like Kelsey said, just find what oils like they really don't like and not use those ones around them. But now to emotional support though.
Emotional support. So this was probably one of the biggest reasons that I started to use oils. I was just looking for like certain tools that I could put in my toolbox to help me when things got tough. Especially now during this time, I am like, there's someone at my door. It sounds like that's okay. During this time, I feel like I am like grabbing them all the time just to help with my anxiety. And they've been great. So the way that essential oils work for emotions is that when we breathe them in or have them on our body, they get into our brain and they go to the amygdala and the hippocampus. So the amygdala is related to our emotions and the hippocampus is for our memories. And so that is why our sense of smell is so connected to past memories that happen, and that they can be good, they can be bad. We all have like some kind of thing that comes up where we smell something and we're like, oh, that is not okay. Or, oh my God, that brings up a good thing that happened. Like for me, the smell of hospitals is just not, I hate it. But like the smell of the forest, I love it. It brings me back to like being grounded and brings me back to camping, going on hikes and all of that kind of stuff. So with oils, I find I love the woodsy scents, and I think that's closely related to just being out in nature. So for me, that it's really cool to see the impact that oils have on our emotions. And I've had anxiety for a long time, and I've had panic attacks, and especially during COVID, I feel like it's come up a lot more. And whenever I feel like I need some kind of support, I reach for the oils that bring back good memories or positivity. And what I do is I put drops in my hand and I mix it with some jojoba oil, and then I just cup it on my mouth and my nose and just like breathe it in. And it instantly just like calms me down. Like my heart rate goes down. It's absolutely incredible to see it. Also, there's been so many studies now about lavender oil and how it helps with depression and anxiety, postpartum depression, as well as fatigue. I actually did a presentation from my school about how essential oils can help us like with mental health and therapy. And so it was really interesting to see the effects that lavender has, especially for people who are taking medications and they're experiencing some kind of side effects that make them want to stop using it. They want something that is still going to be beneficial, but they don't have to experience those side effects. And whether that is using lavender with medication or using lavender on its own just to see if it works. So there's been a lot of studies on the calming effects of lavender. So next, sleep support. I also use oils for sleep support. A big one is lavender. A couple others are vetiver. Apparently that is like a huge one for people. I am starting to test that one out on myself to see if it works. Dee loves vetiver. I used to hate it. We all have different scents and which ones we like and don't like. But that one is apparently incredible for sleep support. Any kind of oils that are good for like that have those calming effects are amazing to have either in the diffuser or put it on the bottom of your feet. I know that vetiver, since I don't like the scent of it, I put it on the bottom of my feet, and that seems to help me so that I don't really have to smell it, but it still gets into my body and gives me that calming effect. What else do I have here? Frankincense is also a really good grounding one. Is there a question? Michelle, I see you kind of looking. No? Okay.
I wonder where I was looking.
All right, so hair support. I also use essential oils in my hair every single day. I have this little spritzer that I made, and it has lavender, rosemary, and it has a little bit of cedarwood, not too much. And then I put some salt in it, and I put witch hazel, and then filled it with water. And it does wonderful things to my hair. Like my hair did not look like this when I woke up. I can tell you that. But it makes it look like it makes my hair look nice and wavy. And it's also just amazing for healthy hair and hair growth. So there actually have been a few studies on rosemary. So it's really good for blood circulation, and it helps the blood get to your hair follicles, which makes sure that they don't die, basically. So you can massage that in your hair. You can add them to like your shampoo or conditioner as well to add it in there. Some other good hair support oils, lavender. I know I keep saying lavender because it's literally good for everything. So if you don't use oils, get yourself lavender. Lavender helps prevent bacteria growth, bad bacteria growth that you don't want. from growing on your head, and it can actually help prevent lice as well. And I found a study on the effects of rosemary and a medication called minoxidil, which is used for hair loss. So they're both used to help for hair growth, and there were studies on 2 groups. So one group did the rosemary, one group took the medication, and they both had the exact same results after 6 months, except that the one that took the medication, they had itchiness, which rosemary actually helps to reduce itchiness on your head. So I thought that was interesting, just to kind of see that it does have the same impact on our bodies. So people have a choice between the medication, or they have a choice between the essential oil. Next, I'll talk about skin support. So again, I use a roller for skin support as well. And in my roller, I have frankincense, lavender, and copaiba, which are all amazing for your skin, healthy looking skin. Frankincense is really good for wrinkles. It's also really good for preventing acne and helps for inflammation and any kind of redness. So I roll that on every morning under my eyes and all over my cheeks, and it just makes me look more awake, which is really nice in the mornings. But yeah, that's it for me.
Perfect. Cool. I'm going to go into ditch and switch, how it's super easy for you to ditch all of the chemicals and toxic nonsense in your house and switch it to literally all natural everything. I did see a question pop up, and it was what oils are good for asthma. Now, I used to have asthma. I'm not saying that oils have cured my asthma. But ones that I have found work insanely well is peppermint. There's a blend called RC, which has eucalyptus, peppermint, and a couple of other blends, as well as frankincense for opening up your lungs. And just, you're able to just take a deeper breath. And though I swear by them, and if you diffuse them, or if you just roll them, you dilute them again, and you can roll them right on your chest. It's really good for breathing support. And then there's this one as well. It's called Deep Relief. You could use it as well for breathing, but I also use it as muscle support, which I'm gonna get into as well. So for switching and ditching your house. So essential oils can be used everywhere and with anything. You can make a DIY for absolutely anything. The chemicals, as I was mentioning before, they're on your floors, they're on the clothing that you wear with the soap that you use, the dryer sheets that you use in the dryer, and on your bedding. They're everywhere, and they sit on you and they stay on you all day long. The lotions that you put on, the makeup that you put on. It's overwhelming when you really stop and you think about how much we consume that just isn't natural in a day. So yeah, and that's another reason. This is a dark statement, but mortality rates, they've gone up. Cancer rates, they've gone up, and it's like, why have they gone up? Well, we're using synthetics now because synthetics are cheaper than essential oils. They're cheaper. You can mass produce them. It's easy. They smell good, and they're cheap on the shelves. And that's just it. The marketing. And it doesn't have to be that way because there's options now. There's options for all natural dish soap. That's another one where the residue stays on your dishes and you eat it, or the chemicals that stay on your fruits and vegetables when you bring them home from the store. That water just doesn't remove. I've done a couple tests on my Instagram. I do a lot of DIYs using essential oils, and like I try to help people switch and ditch their lives and make it easier because I know it can be overwhelming. Like, where do I begin when it comes to finding the products and starting? So yeah, I've made also carpet cleaners. You use baking soda, and you can use purification, tea tree oil, lavender, those are all good for keeping, fleas out of the house, or getting rid of the bacteria. All of these oils are also antifungal, so you could really use them in so many different ways for cleaning. Yeah, they've proven to kill bacteria. They're an antifungal cleaning agent. I mentioned the dish soap, fruit and veggie cleaner. Oh, the question. I have the question about there's the 4-answer one. It's about how many chemicals do we think that we put on our body every day as an average? Does it just pop up? Perfect. Okay. So you guys are good with at least over 20, but shockingly, it's over 500. And it's over 500 before you even leave for work in the morning. It's in your shampoo, like I mentioned, in your lotions, your everything that you use, you're putting on your skin. And like Kelsey mentioned, your skin is your largest organ in your body. And anything that touches your skin is absorbed straight into your bloodstream, straight into your brain within 20 minutes. And taking that into consideration, you take a step back and you're like, wow, everything you touch, like it's, so the idea is to just minimize that in as easy possible way as you can. And I say to people too, you don't need to switch and ditch your entire life over in 1 second, because that's hard. It takes a whole long process. But when it comes to just like sleep support, instead of turning to, like medication, you turn to lavender, or for stomach aches, instead of turning to medication, or the muscle rubs, which I have scoliosis. I've had severe back pain ever since I had my daughter. It's gotten a lot worse, to the point where I was using muscle relaxers every day. I was using the 8535 every day, trying to get rid of the pain. And I have never in my life, like, I didn't think that essential oils could honestly work as well as they do. It blows my mind every single time, because I've always been skeptical. I'm like, it can't work that well. But no, I swear by it. This little bottle, Deep Relief, takes it. It is muscle rub in itself. It takes away all of my back pain. Hands down. I carry this around with me everywhere I go. And too, like candles, you could switch to diffusers, the dryer sheets, fabric softener. Fabric softener has thousands of chemicals. Underneath the word fragrance, they are allowed to hide like 4,000 plus chemicals. What's the magic bottle? It's called Deep Relief. And Deep Relief has it's a blend. It's a Young Living blend that has let's see, I believe that it's just strong peppermint. I want to say that it is. Which ingredient on here? On here somewhere. Dose, storage, duration. Yeah. Peppermint, menthol. I'll have a look on a different bottle, but it's called Deep Relief. So switching your dryer sheets, like I mentioned, is chemicals. So many chemicals. Anything that says fragrance, even if it's a natural product, you'll see people like mayors. They just got a massive lawsuit against them because they were saying that they're all natural, but in fact they're not. If an all natural product says fragrance in it, that word alone is it is garbage. There's an app, it's called Think Dirty, and if you guys download that, you can scan your products, and then it shows you, it breaks down exactly what's in those products, and it rates it on a scale between 1 to 10 of how dirty the product is. So you could go through your house and scan all your products and see what's in it, and it tells you exactly what those compounds that are in it can do to our body. So that's a good one to download. I mentioned on muscle rub, the Deep Relief. Polysporin, that's another one too. There is oils for, it's called Owie for little children that you apply. It's pre-diluted, apply straight to their cuts. It's good to keep it antibacterial, antifungal. Tummy trembles, like I was mentioning, with the Digize. And Febreze, what I used to do I suppose I still do it, is I make my own Febreze with essential oils and witch hazel and shake it up, and you can mix all these essential oils and make your own smell that smells delicious, and it kills bacteria, so it works better than Febreze. It doesn't just mask things, and it's safe and healthy. So there's that. And I mentioned that there's 500 chemicals, which is insane. Also, the FDA doesn't require any testing, like Kelsey was mentioning before, or approval before cosmetics are going onto the shelves. So they aren't approved. Nothing has been tested. Nothing's like regulated when it comes to cosmetics that isn't for health purposes. So again, you really got to do your research and look into the things that you're putting on your body, because it's scary when you really look into it. And a lot of these chemicals are actually banned and illegal in Europe and a lot of other countries. And it's like, how could something be illegal in another country, yet we're over here just slapping it all over ourselves just because it smells good when there's so many other options out there. So all I'm saying is just do your research on your products that you're using, especially with essential oils. Do research on where they're coming from, because regulations are tricky, and essential oils can be sticky, and a lot of them, like Kelsey was saying, can have synthetics in them. So just make sure you're doing your research on that. And I think that was it for me.
Awesome. Yes, so that is it, other than the questions part. And I guess we can say before we get into questions, since we couldn't do this in person, if we were in person, we could have all been smelling all the oils and being able to get, that experience from it. So it's a lot different doing it over Zoom. So we're offering one free roller to anyone who would like one. I think Michelle's going to put our Instagram handles in there, but if you don't have Instagram, we can also put our email down there too if you would like a roller. And we can chat about what kind of roller you would like, if you would like skin support, digestive support, or you just want one that smells really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you would like that, let us know. But if you have questions, also let us know.
Thank you. So if anyone has any questions, you can add it. Feel free to type it in the chat, or you can use the raise hand feature and ask your question live. I just want to know, do you guys have any experience with, like, I'll often use CBD oil to sleep. And then I've read about like mixing it with an essential oil, so maybe like with lavender. Do you guys have any experience with mixing CBD or?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah, actually, it's sadly with Young Living, like they sell CBD with like the oils in it, but only in the States because of regulations and stuff. So yeah, it's super beneficial. The two of them together become a powerhouse. Mixing CBD and essential oils is great. Again, just making sure you're doing research on the oils that you get, because not all oils are equal. But yeah, no, 100%. It works phenomenally, especially too with pain management as well. I think I forget, there's a whole thing on it, but I believe that the CBD linked with essential oil, it amplifies it, creating, like, they both work better.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, good to know. Thank you. And a couple questions just came in. So there's one from Bonnie. Do essential oils expire? If yes, is it dangerous to use the expired oil?
Okay, so I have, am I on mute? No, I'm not. Okay. I know that there is an expiry date, but I can't find it on these bottles.
Yeah, it's on here. They're on here, expiry date. So this one is August of 2022. I don't think, it doesn't become unsafe. I believe they just go, like, you know how plant matter like decomposes. Eventually it just probably gets a funkier smell, but no, it doesn't become dangerous to use.
Yeah. Thank you. What about eucalyptus oil? How can it be used and for what?
Oh, I can start. I love eucalyptus in the shower. It, like, spa experience if you need that.
Yeah.
It just opens up your lungs.
Good for asthma too.
Yeah. And I just like it with a ton of different blends. I find that the one that I have is a sweeter one, and I find that it just smells nice with other blends. But do you know anything else, Dee?
Eucalyptus is really great for a lot of things. It's good for concentration as well as relaxation at the same time. It's a powerhouse. And yeah, mixing it with different oils will create different vibes in your house if you're looking to be more relaxed or more energized. And yeah, it's good for asthma, anything breathing related. It's really good for your respiratory system as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You mentioned Young Living. Do you have any other favorite brands that you feel work well?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I haven't really used a lot of other brands before. As I said, I do have some from Winners, but if you smelled them, you would know that they're not. It smells like Axe. I was telling Dee the other day. It smells like you can tell that there's that chemical smell to it. When I first got into oils, I did like research for probably 4 months before I jumped onto one brand that I really liked. So yeah, I'm not quite sure.
For me, I've used, I could pull out a box of oils. I've tried all of the oils. I've tried ordering them from different distribution centers. I've tried Sage. The only one I haven't tried is doTERRA. And I did my research because you smell every lavender in front of you. And for some reason, I don't know, Young Living's oils, they just smell pure. And I find that they just work really well. But do your research. Yeah. I don't know. I find that, they just are really great.
Anything known for high stress, like PTSD?
I use a ton of emotional support oils. I use a lot of blends, with Young Living. Again, we have a blend called Valor, and I use that. I forget what's actually in that, if you want to read it.
There's black spruce, camphor, blue tansy, frankincense, and geranium.
Yeah, so a lot of good emotional support oils. And as I said, I have anxiety and panic attacks, and I find that there are definitely a lot of oils that can support that. And it depends on the person. For me, peppermint can be used to calm me down, whereas I don't hear many people talk about that. It's more used for headaches and stuff. So yeah, frankincense is a really good grounding oil. I'm trying to think of ones that aren't blends.
I know there's a lot of blends, there's peace and calming and stress away, and they all have there's ylang. Yilang's really good for stress and calming you down. Mm-hmm. Frankincense, like you mentioned. Lavender everybody needs lavender in their lives for everything.
There's definitely a lot of blends that are good for it.
Orange is also good.
Mm-hmm. And we have, so there's a few people just saying that they would love an essential oil roller. So I can add your emails to the chat as well, for those who don't have Instagram.
For sure.
And then this is kind of related, but best blends for sleep. So I'm assuming those are similar to the ones you just mentioned.
Yeah, so for me, peace and calming again was a blend that is often used for sleep. I use lavender. I also use a blend called Dreamcatcher, which actually helps me a lot. Yeah.
What's in Dreamcatcher? I'm gonna get it.
Lavender and frankincense, I've heard, is a really good blend to put together in the diffuser. Or cedarwood.
Cedarwood's very, very good for sleep support. Yes.
I have heard a lot of testimonials about vetiver on your feet.
Vetiver will knock you out. My daughter's she's very high strung. she wakes up and she is just ready to go. So I put vetiver on the back of her neck, and I notice when I don't do it, because her brain's just like firing. And I find that it makes her focused and just like relaxes her mind. And the one in Dreamcatcher, these are all sleepy time ones too. Chamomile, sandalwood, ylang ylang, pepper, black pepper is actually a really good one too. Bergamot, juniper, geranium, blue cypress. There's so many blends. They're all good for all the things.
Are there any that should not be mixed together? Any common oils that should not be mixed?
Again, this would come down to like doing the research on the oils themselves, because like the synthetics you don't know. But no, the only thing that'll happen is you'll get a smelly smell, and then you have to dump out your diffuser. What I do is I'll look at my shelf and I just like pick random ones if I'm just feeling, frisky and I want something new. And yeah, sometimes if it doesn't work out, you just dump it out and start over.
Perfect, thank you. And there's, I think, one more question. What are reasonable pricing for quality essential oils? Where are the best places to go shopping for oils?
So, you want to go that one?
You got it. You probably have a better idea of prices because I've only really bought these ones.
Right. So a lot, like for lavender, you're looking around for a 15 mil. It'll be like $30 for a 15 mil, like the bigger size. But again, in one of these, you only need 1 drop and then you can dilute it. And if you use your diffuser, you can start off like with a low amount and it goes up to 10 drops. And in one of the little bottles, is it 100 or 500 drops?
In the little ones, there's around 150, and then in the big ones, it's a lot more.
Yeah, so it's in comparison to candles, diffusers and essential oils are 100% cheaper because it stays on for 10 hours using only 10 drops, and you divide your it's a smaller bottle, your $13 bottle of oil lasts you way longer than your $20 candle would. You know what I mean? And then for shopping for them, again, I don't know. There's not, and that's the thing. It's so tricky to find because there's not many shops that have a storefront available to you because of the regulations on essential oils. And with Young Living, they have a whole seed to seal guarantee that guarantees you from the point that it's in the ground to the point that they have it into the bottle, it is 100% pure. And you can actually go visit their farms, which is so cool. You can see the whole process happen. And there's sage. I know that there's sage in Ontario, right? You guys have that in Ontario? But I called them because I was curious. I was like, can we visit your farms? Like, I just want to know a little bit more about your company. And they flat out were like, no, you're not allowed. No one's allowed to see the farms or the process or any of that. So I thought that was a little interesting. But their oils are good too. Like, I've used them before.
Awesome. Thank you. And I don't see any more questions coming in, but we do have your emails and we've added your Instagram handle. So if it's okay, if questions come up, they can just reach out and message you directly for the roll-ons. So I just want to say thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you, Danielle. That was awesome. Super informative. And thank you to everyone who joined on the call. We do have our next AC Always Connected event coming up on Thursday, and it is seasonal pickling with top shelf preserves. So it's taking place Thursday at 11 a.m. and Leanne is posting the information in the chat. So thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.